If somebody wanted to be a musician, what would be a school that you would recommend for them to go to?
Bronx Prep. I do think wherever you are, you guys are here. If you want to be a musician, hang out with Mr. Alvarado as much as you can and learn.
impressions I had this morning. In between performing for you guys, Mr. Alvarado and I walked around the school and I got to see a lot of what was going on. I don't know how much of an experience you all have had yet playing in a group where Mr. Alvarado is not conducting. How often does that happen?
How often in
chamber music? Have they had a chance to play in a small group without an adult leading them?
Yeah, so actually, in terms of chamber music, not the smaller groups, but what I tend to do with my groups is actually have them perform without me being on stage at all.
Which is very different, right? You're used to rehearsing, you're having leadership, and then you have to take ownership of it yourself, right? And I think that's one of the most amazing experiences you can have is when you are handed the keys and said, here, make this go. To work together, to collaborate, to produce something greater than they could do on their own. And I have to say, being here this morning, you all are very lucky to have a school like this. When you walk in, you have a lot of expectations on you. I can see that. It's very clear that there is a certain way of doing things here at Bronx Prep. That's very clear. And I'm sure sometimes that, from maybe when you first started here, that might have been quite an adjustment. And maybe sometimes it still is. But I think for me, music has given me a lot of the tools that I found helpful in the rest of my life, you know, when it comes to how to relate to the world and how to expect a lot of myself. You know, if I sit down to practice, I have very high expectations for what it's going to sound like when I'm done. I have to keep working until it gets there. And whatever you're doing, your slogan here is work hard, go to college, change the world. So the work hard part, that's first for a reason, right? I think music has taught me a lot about what hard work actually is, and I'm grateful for that. It's made my life much better, much richer, and that's what enabled me to do some of the things that I've done, and what I hope to do more of, because I would like everybody to have the chance to have the experiences I did. And the reality of the music world and the educational world is the opportunities that I had and the opportunities that you have here are far greater than the opportunities most people have. And that's important to remember. I have rarely been to a public school which has the resources that you all have, especially when it comes to the arts. So take full advantage of that level. Without Mr. Alvarado leading you in a concert, that's how they rehearse too. They have a whole system where they get together and they work out how they're going to play, and all the sections coordinate together, and they play full-length concerts with no one conducting, and they're really good. And this cello happens to belong to a friend of mine who I don't think he plays in that group anymore because he's now in the New York Philharmonic, and that's a full-time job, so he can't go and play in Orpheus anymore. But for a long time, he was a member of this group, and so this is his cello. When I flew in from Cincinnati, I didn't want to bring my cello on the plane because that's a huge hassle. And so I asked my friend Eric if I could borrow his cello and play so that I would have an instrument to play for you guys. And he was very nice about loaning it to me. In fact, I have to go meet him after this at Lincoln Center to give him his cello back after the concert that he's playing.